John Hersey here from the French Wine Centre. Welcome to episode 14 of Taste Then Drink. On this episode, we start a new series called How to Taste Then Drink. Now, I suppose what this series is about to me is the actual practice of enjoying a glass of wine. Too many times I've heard people say that they don't enjoy a glass of wine by themselves, or that they'd never have a glass just to relax or unwind or to think or contemplate. Now, personally, I love having a glass of wine by myself. Yes, it does need to be something of interest that I enjoy or I'm interested in. Usually Burgundy, but absolutely more than happy to try anything else. The other thing is that I like to have a nice scene or setting. So let's use, for example, a Sunday afternoon. I'll find somewhere in the property. Yes, lucky enough to live on a vineyard, and not everyone is. However, you can find a park, you can find a view, you can find a particular spot on your couch that you find quite comfortable, where you can see a particular old building down the road, or the way light shines in on a particular building. It's about appreciating just everything. It's about sitting back and realising just how good life is. So, in this episode and series, we're going to taste the wine together, and always in a different setting. Now, we're starting off the series with the champagne. It is 14 degrees, overcast, slightly raining. So, I've opted to come to the woodshed, where we'll come and collect some wood to keep the house warm. So, special place. I also quite like it. It's been here for however long. It's got a bit of character. It's got some bottles of wine that I've drunk previously, some Doversa, some Pierre Marais, Henri Boyot, Les Saint Georges by Henri Gouge, and some Vincent Doversa. So, let's get started on the wine. Now, champagne, I never drink in flutes. Always in a larger glass. Now, with Champagne Vergnon, it's quite special in the fact that it is so much more than just bubbles. If you pop and pour and serve this to someone and they just drink it quite quickly, you'll have very persistent bubbles, quite a bit of acidity, some flavour by the last sip. However, if you treat it like a wine and swirl it like I do, the bubbles will dissipate, but the nose and the body of the wine will start to reveal itself. The nose is incredibly powerful, full of full, rich orchard fruits, ripe pear, golden pear, beautiful, crisp apple, but quite a bit more flavour, quite a bit of sweet spice. Now, it's from Le Mesnil-Sauger, which is the premier the premier village for Chardonnay in the Côte de Blanc in Champagne, one of the 5 departments. It's probably the longest lived village in Bertie the Beagle has just come to say hello. Hello, Bertie. And it produces wine of incredible length and power, and quite understated until you do give it to me. A lot of Blanc de Blancs from Côte de Blanc will reveal white of almond and be really lovely but relatively simple. However, Vergnon pick their fruit really quite ripe, use very minimal dosage, and even play around with a little bit of wood. They're also one of the few producers to not do malolactic fermentation. That is the conversion of harsh malic acids that you'll find in apples to softer dairy lactic acids that you find in milk. What that does is it leaves it quite vulnerable to re-fermentation in the bottle and variants. But they're so precise that they do it so well. The palate is full, akin to that of a Chardonnay or a white Burgundy from Côte de Beaune or Chablis, but from really quite a warm side in Chablis. You know, as it opens, it goes from being this sort of tart, sort of fresh champagne to this incredibly driven and mineral champagne. The takeaway for this, I suppose, is to give it air. And it is utterly delicious if you give it air. If If you share this between 8 people and drink it in one gulp, you will not get the enjoyment. If you serve it in a large glass and enjoy it, swirl it, you have a fantastic time. So, thank you very much for joining me on the first episode from the series of How to Taste Then Drink. Until next time, pick a good location, fine bottle of wine, enjoy your own company or the person you're around.